No mercy! Death to the enemy! We are the bringers of death!
Aim true, brother!
Hey guys, it's Merrick, and I've got another gameplay commentary for you here today. This one, we're yet again on Planetside 2, this time on VS, using the Pulsar LSW. Loadout's changed a little bit today. We're using the Compensator and the Extended Magazine on the Pulsar, using the Underboss instead of the Commissioner, and I'm running ASC suit slot as opposed to Munitions suit or Flak Armor. I'm also running, in the slot of where I would normally run Survivalist, I'm running Athlete. Starting this session off, I started at ACAN Data Hub, where I begin to shift W towards point, but as I run in here, my brain really wasn't fully activated, and I stared directly at that infiltrator, not realizing that he wasn't purple. So, running it back, I try to go cut the angle on this doorway a little bit, jump across, but being a little out of it, I jump sideways, almost caught the door, but I know there's people at the top of the stairs now. Moving over to this other door, I throw some pressure up at the top. I see a Max, so I take a rocket to try to shoot at him, but he moves back and I miss completely. But I do manage to flank around to the other door and put some pressure on both the bottom servers and the upper staircase. I was going to wrap around and push up the stairs, but somebody dealt damage to me from outside, so I flanked around this tree trying to find him. I do push over here and find somebody, but as I fight this guy, a light assault drops down and takes me out. As I run back, I assume most of the red are going to be at the top of the stairs, so I take out my rocket to start working on their cover, but there's actually someone at the bottom, and I get a little bit surprised. I do manage to react and take him out, then I'm able to slot some shots and take out this guy that seemed to have a scout rifle, for making a move and pushing up and into the building. I try to take this cover out because it can sometimes be awkward to make this jump, but somebody does it just fine as they block some of my shots, and I don't know if I was going to win or lose that fight, but I feel like him eating some of those shots guaranteed that I wasn't going to win it. So I run in after getting a res and try to pick up some of these chaotic kills that are everywhere, manage to whiff a bunch of bullets and shoot people as they die, managing to pull nothing out of that until I die. Coming back again, I wrap around the outside to deal with some of this pressure, and I get stuck on a rock, where as I'm trying to strafe around, I just keep sinking, and I cannot make the shots while taking shots myself. Running back from that, I manage to find the Sunder, and I take position in this building to put some pressure on there as they leave the Sunder and push around the side. One of them manages to push up to our building, peeks in the window and murders the guy next to me, and somehow doesn't murder me, which is just a miracle, but by the time I push back, he's gone, and I just retake my position, trying to take people off on these sides. However, an OS comes in, and the fight immediately ends, so we're going to move on to the next fight. After a bunch of deliberating, I managed to head over to Eastern Substation, thinking there's going to be a very large fight there, but I wind up running around for a little bit, not exactly making contact with anybody, or at least not the numbers of people I was expecting to run into. I catch somebody coming up the stairs, forget how to play the game, whiff every bullet and get taken out from the side, run back and take a similar angle because it seems like the pressure might be slightly increasing, and I manage to pinch somebody into this corner. I take him out, but it seems like most of the population has vanished, as from there we wind up pushing directly to their Sunder, where I kill a few people before I realize that this Sunder isn't going to be long for this world and they're not going to materialize a real push, so I just fuck off elsewhere. And that takes me to Ixatab Power, where as soon as I leave the spawn, I can see a vehicle and a bunch of infantry in there ready to shoot at us. So I try to take some pot shots to see if I can't harass somebody and maybe pick up a free kill, and then I walk around to the teleporter and try to push in from the other side of the building. I trade with somebody a little bit as I peek in, but I decide to back off, and I'm not sure if anybody's going to be close to push me, so I go to jump up onto this railing and try to skirt across the side of the building to get over to the side, but I just wind up falling. So while I'm down here, I decide to try to get this generator. I start stabilizing it, but this guy pushes up while I'm working on it. I turn over and take him out, which doesn't actually break my stabilization attempt, but I just didn't have enough time when I showed up. To be fair, I really wasn't paying attention. From there, I run up the stairs and I come around the back side of the point where they are spawning from. I manage to take out 2 people and a spawn beacon before I push into the building. I basically walk uncontested up onto point, and I'm able to shoot at somebody before they walk into a vehicle. I back up, take out this sentry turret, and then as I poke back out, that guy has left his vehicle. So I trade him out, and I realize it's probably been about long enough for those guys outside to respawn. I turn a 180, and it turns out I'm just a little bit late as he got the first few shots off, and I fall over. From there, though, I move on to Genesis Terraforming, which looks like it might be an alright fight, so I push up to point C and see what I can do. But no sooner do I get here than there's already a massive push of blue, so I take out a few on that first door, I see them wrapping around the second door, so I get ready for that. Only one of them pushes in, and by the time I wrap back to shoot at the first door, there's way too many there, and I get traded out. But immediately upon respawning, I head up the stairs and try again. I'm able to take a few people out, and then I get taken out from someone on the roof that I just couldn't see in time. As I stand up, I scrape a light assault off of our Sunderer, and then I fling around this corner and try to see if they're going to be pushing down at us. There was a lot of people that pushed me on the point, so I wasn't sure if they were going to push us under. It does not seem like they all did so. I take out this one medic, I kind of wait for the guy to respawn, but in the time that happens, it seems like we are completely pushed off of the point, and I head somewhere else. This brings me to Eastern Substation, where I try to push in before I realize that there's a significant ton of people in there, so I try to sit around outside. But having taken a few minutes without getting any kills, I'm extremely bloodthirsty and my brain is not working right, so after killing somebody on this corner here, I just sit here like an idiot, really, until 3 of them peek me at once and I fall over, before heading to a different Sunderer, which allows me to get a few more kills and work a different angle. I kill one coming up the ramp, the other one I'm not sure if I secured for the vehicle or the vehicle secured by itself. I'm able to pick a second one off at the top of the stairs, and then after investigating that warehouse, I start to push back to point, where I get a flank on somebody. I can't catch him before he heads into the staircase, so I throw a nade onto the respawn beacon, and thankfully he walks back out just in time to catch that nade as well. I get a better flank on some of the people on point, and just forget how the fuck to use my hands, and whiff a bunch of free shots that should have equaled a free kill or so. From here, I head over to the ziggurat, jump across, and go to peek, only to see 16 people there, and I realize that, you know what, maybe this isn't where I should go. So, I head somewhere else. Which brings us back to Ixatab Power. I'm able to pick up one guy as I spawn in, and then looking around for a different angle because of all those blue dots, I try to peek along the side here and see if I can't find anybody. I do see one on the lower end there, but I don't manage to get the pickup on the kill. But as I'm backing up, I see another blue dot on the map, and I do secure the Sunderer from someone else flanking before I start to push down and towards point. The height advantage gives me good vision on this other guy off to the side that I'm able to take out, and then I'm uncontested until I get inside. I move up along these corners, trying to keep some cover. I do see someone peek out, and I trade him out, but as I go to fight the other one, they have a RPG that they were looking for the max. They saw me as the max shifted out of sight of them, and they just drop it on me. I wasn't ready, I wasn't expecting it, so I just fell the fuck over. As I'm running back in, there's a few of them outside stalling respawns, and I'm only able to pick up one before I get flanked. Then, running back in yet again, I get a half-decent flank where I'm able to take out a few of them, including a few that respawned and were trying to secure the point. I overestimate my momentum, however, and I forget that I have the compensator on, so I jump down and try to hip-fire this guy like I could with the Orion or most other LMGs, and I just whiff all of my bullets. Part of it's because I didn't have really crisp recoil control, and part of it's because the compensator reduces your hipfire. I am, however, able to get another solid flank as I come in the other side door, seemingly at the same time as they were just getting a push organized. I take out a few people, I see the max, I could continue to put shots on the max, but I know there's going to be more infantry trickling in, so I push up to try to deny that. My teammates are able to take out the max, and then I'm able to secure this section of the building. Meanwhile, I start watching this outside door, because even though those caltrops are meant to be a blocker for people pushing in, it also provides a half-decent amount of cover. After a little while of holding the corner, however, I realized that they're just starting to build up out there, as I haven't gotten a kill recently. So I wrap around to the front side of the building, jump up onto the railing to get a nice angle on their location up there, and just clear the whole thing out. I back off to reload, and I'm pretty sure I hear a resnade, so I jump up to go do it again. See, nobody's rezzed, but I overextended and fell off. So I had to run back into the point, and I managed to pick up one guy on my way back. I get back into the point building, and I catch a few more people through this doorway on the outside before we wind up clearing out the point. I do jump around back to that same railing shot, but nobody's there, and then I just move on to the next fight. Which brings me to Kessel's Crossing. I'm so lukewarm in this place. Some of the fights are good, some of the fights are awful, but I have a little bit of a schizo moment in the jungle there as I saw a tree that had the anti-aliasing move a little bit and made me think there was an infiltrator. After checking that there wasn't, I push up to the point, get murdered by a vehicle, and then try to push up yet again, this time making a slightly better connection with infantry. After picking off the guy on the second floor, or the bridge, however you want to call it, I wrap around the side of the bridge, spot a Sunder out in the distance it doesn't actually spot, and then get a wrap on some of the guys holding one of their forward buildings. I'm able to take him out, and then as I'm looking around for more, I see a medic run over to heal him, which I'm pretty sure is actually a war crime to kill somebody and then wait for the medic, but it wound up happening. So I pick this guy up yet again as he goes for the res nade, managed to also pick the medic up before I drop down and begin pushing on to point. As I get onto point, I see a bunch of vehicle enjoyers, and I'm able to push up onto point, catch somebody off guard, and clear out a sentry turret before the Bulldog harasser realizes there's free kills on point and just demonstrates an immense amount of skill as he shoots the floor until I die. Running back and thinking about how I could just be better at the game like that man, I just walk right into the open and die to a light assault on a roof. From there, I respawn, I take the teleporter to move to the side, and as I'm pushing in, I get my kill secured by somebody else, which is just fine because I'm not sure if I would have found that infiltrator again anyway. But as I'm wrapping around, I do manage to catch one guy on the flank before I push into this building and try to get some flank shots onto the point. The harasser is still there and demonstrates that he is a high-skilled player by repetitively and continually shooting at the floor and forces me out of this room. I back off and clear my flank, and then as I push back in, the guy in the harasser got out and proves that he's a harasser player only, as he falls up for free. But as I go back to follow this other angle, there's two people there, and I know that they're going to push me. I can't fight both of them at once, so I back off and look for another angle. As I'm doing that, I get stuck on this ledge just as an infiltrator comes out of stealth because of skill, and as I'm backing off, those guys that I was talking about pushing me did finally catch up to me, and I was just not properly prepared because that infiltrator made me waste a little too much time. However, from here we head back to Hayes Skydock, where the fight looks like it's absolutely savage, and as I'm pushing up onto point, I miss everybody as I'm pushing up to A and just get flanked. I go to respawn to that flank, and I get taken up from a longer angle, but we continue running back, and I try to push some people off to the side, as it seems like there's a build-up on this side according to the minimap. I'm able to pick off a light assault that was floating, and then this guy re-peeks when I wasn't expecting it, but I do still manage to pick him up, but I cannot get to a safe spot behind cover before I get taken out. As I run back to point this time to push, all of those super high-skilled vehicle players showed up yet again to demonstrate how they're just superior players with their improved health, improved damage, improved survivability, improved mobility, and everything. They're just better skilled. They sit around and ruin the actual fight, and I rotate left and right looking for any opportunities to actually play the game against our higher-skilled overlords. But when two supreme skill players aren't enough, a third one rolls up on the side to use a different angle, because God forbid, there's an orbital as I respawn. I'm able to catch one unlucky dude as he just got a bad drop pod location, and then pushing up, I see what looks like a TR push on the side. I get a good flank, and I'm able to clear it out before pushing down onto the point.
Destroy them! We bring death to our enemies!
I'm able to push onto point A and clear it out just as an orbital goes off. Almost got completely fucked by that concussion because I had to sweep my hand across my mouse pad 3 times and I still didn't make it to that poor man on the side. But as I make this push into the last point here, I gotta start wrapping this session up as we conclude it with 84 kills in 36 minutes. The Pulsar feels a little weaker than some of the other VS LMG options, but it's absolutely not bad. The extra bullets help a lot when you're trying to hold corners or make aggressive extended pushes. The whole only having 2 magazines thing is kind of odd though, which can easily be fixed by finding an engineer or running the ammunition belt. I had a lot of fights with superior numbers, so I think some of my misplays were more not giving enough space to kite people out and trying to hold my position and bleed out as many as I could from there. I also suffered still from not having a clean burst fire and such like that. I'm sure there's more I messed up, and I'm sure there's more that I could do better, but like I said, I gotta wrap this up. So, as always, let me know what you do like, let me know what you don't like, let me know what you think so I can improve my videos moving forwards. Thank you guys for your continued support, and I'll see you guys next time.